Hello, boys and girls, and those who bounce in between. Comrade Dankey here. In a past video, I looked at a Walmart union busting training video, and it was torture. Um, I don't know if the employees involved were forced, like at gunpoint, to act in those anti-union videos, but if you go back and watch them, they look like they are possessed or being held hostage or at gunpoint or something. And they say corporate buzzwords and slogans like, "We don't need a union because we're a pro-associate company." Um, and I don't want a union to take a portion of my paycheck. Of course, what they do with that paycheck ultimately is to the benefit of the workers, but ignoring all of that, a bunch of anti-union rhetoric from the good folk at Walmart. But now, I also mentioned other places that suck to work at. And one of those places is, of course, Amazon. We've heard tales of Amazon workers forced to stand for hours to walk miles through these warehouses. But we're going to see here that they should really just stop complaining because they actually have it pretty darn good. So let's watch this Amazon union busting training video that they show to employees. This has probably been smuggled out of somebody's ass from some Amazon warehouse. So thank you, whoever got this out to the public.
Welcome. We're excited to have you at this training, specifically designed to give you the tools that you need for success when it comes.
Already, it looks really shitty. Like the animation looks like something that was made in, oh geez, I don't even know, like Adobe Flash or something. It looks like some kind of like Newgrounds cartoon.
Comes to labor organizing. During this course, we'll cover several important topics, such as our position on unions, associate rights, signs of employee disengagement, and how to identify, escalate, and address associate concerns. We are not anti-union, but we're not
anti-union.
Neutral either. We will boldly defend our direct relationship with associates as best for the associate, the business, and our shareholders.
Okay, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, speak English, Doc. We're not anti-union, but we're neutral. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? You're either for unions or you're against them. You can't be, like, neutral.
Anti-union, but we are not neutral either. We will boldly defend our direct relationship with associates as best for the associate, the business, and our shareholders. We do not believe unions are in the best interest of our customers, our shareholders, or most importantly, our associates.
So, unions aren't in the best interest of your customers. So, if your workers have good conditions, if they are being treated like human beings, well, that's to the detriment of the customer, apparently.
Shareholders,
it's also to the detriment of the shareholders. Once again, I say fuck the shareholders. They're sitting on their fat fucking asses collecting the money that all the workers that work at Amazon make for them. So maybe they should do maybe they should treat the workers with a little bit of fucking respect, considering that it's how they make their money.
Most importantly, our associates. Our business model is built upon speed, innovation, and customer obsession.
So we can't have speed, innovation, or customer obsession with those pesky unions trying to make sure that we're not working our employees like slaves. That we work them so hard that we time them to make sure that they're not, taking any breaks. Amazon is just a great place to work at. We have speed, we have innovation, we have customer obsession. It's not at all, our success is not at all related to just how we exploit the shit out of our workers and treat them essentially like chattel.
Things that are generally not associated with unions. When we lose sight of those critical focus areas, we jeopardize everyone's job security. We don't.
Okay, so it's basically saying, like, if we allow unions, our company will fail. We won't be innovative. We won't be speedy. And most of all, we won't have a customer obsession for some reason. I don't know exactly how that works. I mean, I, for one, would be more likely to buy goods from Amazon.com if I knew that their employees were being treated humanely. I, for one, would be more glad to give Amazon my money if I knew that there were employees there that weren't being treated like slaves. It's a real class act to see this Amazon script, corporate script, try to put the onus on the workers. It's essentially blaming them if the company fails for unionizing. Sorry, buddy. If Amazon fails, it's not going to be because your employees are unionizing. It's going to be because Amazon fucked up. The guys at the very top fucked up. Jeff Bezos fucked up. But of course, I don't think Amazon is going to fail. I don't think unionizing would cause them to fail. If anything, it would just make them stronger, more stable, less prone to strikes. But it's just more typical corporate BS.
Badmouth unions in general, but we will speak openly. We jeopardize everyone's job security. We don't badmouth unions in general, but we will speak openly with associates about unions, including any specific concerns about particular unions involved in organizing. And we share our preference for a direct working relationship frequently and boldly, even when no organizing activity has occurred. You will learn about the warning signs most commonly associated with early union organizing.
Recognizing the warning signs of organizing. So these guys are basically admitting they don't want the workers to organize. They don't want the workers to do any kind of collective bargaining, any kind of strike, anything like that. The workers should just blindly obey the bosses of Amazon and should just take what they're given in terms of wages, in terms of working conditions, in terms of benefits, and they should be grateful. They should be absolutely grateful. They should lick the boots of Jeff Bezos. They should lick them clean, ladies and gentlemen, because God forbid, if they join a union, well, then this giant company that sells just millions of dollars of merchandise every day will it'll just go up in flames instantly.
As well as other warning signs that could indicate associate disengagement.
if your associates start sharpening the guillotine blades and looking at the boss with death glares, I think this may be a warning sign that your workers are organizing.
Vulnerability to organizing or early organizing activity.
Early organizing activity, like the workers are passing around copies of the Communist Manifesto, and they start humming the Internationale whenever the boss walks in the room. This is what it looks like, folks. We're going to teach you the early warning signs here at Amazon.
While employees have the right to organize, we have a right...
Oh, we have the right to organize? Well, how grateful. We're so grateful for you for giving us that right, Jeff Bezos. We're so glad that you're permitting us for the privilege of organizing like fellow human beings. Here I thought we were just little worker ants for the Amazon bosses to just exploit the shit out of until we finally keel over.
And responsibility to share our position that a direct working relationship is better for the customer, the company, and the associate.
So a direct working relationship, that's basically corporate bullshit for not having the union bargain on your behalf as a worker. So we don't believe in collective bargaining. We believe on every single worker just coming up to us one-on-one and challenging the management just as a single worker to the management. Yeah, because that's really going to work. Try asking your boss for a raise next time you see him, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure the boss would be more than happy to oblige. After all, he encourages a direct relationship. So, I mean, yeah, try asking your boss for a raise. But imagine if every single worker in that warehouse asked their boss for a raise. Collectively. Then the boss wouldn't really be in a position to decline now, would he?
In order to be able to do that effectively, it is critical that we recognize the early warning signs of potential organizing and escalate concerns promptly. If you see warning signs...
If you see warning signs, report it to Jeff Bezos. We have his emergency number posted up on the side of every Amazon warehouse. Call him, rain or shine, and tell him. The workers are organizing. They're sharpening the guillotines. They're singing the Internationale. They're going to form a Soviet commune. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff Bezos, it's time to get in your spaceship, go off to the Mars colony where you can be safe, because the revolution's happening.
Signs of potential organizing. Notify your building HRM and GM site leader immediately.
So they're asking you to like rat out your fellow workers if they're trying to like organize. Probably to help you too if you're a fellow worker. So if you're a worker and you rat out your fellow workers who are trying to organize, you're really just shooting yourself in the foot. You're being a useful patsy for your boss. What, you think you're honestly gonna like get rewarded? Maybe a little bit. Maybe the boss hands you some crumbs every now and then. You can be like the little creepy gremlin puppet that hung out next to Jabba the Hutt in Star Wars. You can just laugh at whatever your dumb boss says.
HRMs and GM site leaders should notify their assigned ER managers or ER principal immediately.
And then they can call the union busters, the strike breakers, and they can come in and start beating people over the heads with billy clubs.
The most obvious signs would include use of words associated with unions or union-led movements.
Union words like, oh, I don't know, class struggle, proletarian, bourgeoisie, eat the rich, fucking overthrow the capitalist masters and instill a dictatorship of the proletariat.
Like living wage or steward, petitions or other concerted activity.
So words like living wage, grievance, contract, and representation. That's hilarious. Like, here Amazon is essentially telling you they don't give a fuck about how you live, how you manage to live. Not their problem, buddy. They're gonna pay you as low as they can get. You don't deserve a living wage, friend. Those are union words. They don't give a fuck about your grievances. They don't give a fuck about having a fair contract that doesn't exploit the shit out of you. And they don't care about having workers represented at the table when it comes to major corporate discussions like, ooh, let's move this warehouse out of the town. Workers might want some input on that, considering it's their livelihoods at stake.
Such as an associate purporting to speak on behalf of his or her coworkers when raising concerns. Union graffiti, union t-shirts, hats, jackets, or other clothing.
So you're not even allowed to like fucking wear union clothes. What if I wore a shirt that said like, oh, I don't know, like it had like Che Guevara's picture on it, and would Amazon, would they get concerned? Would they go to ER department and fucking report me? Would they go to Jeff Bezos and say, Mr. Bezos, we have this kid in warehouse B. He's passing out copies of Das Kapital. He's started a reading group. Our workers are becoming class consciousness. He's putting out flyers. He's bringing visitors in, and he's giving out clothing that says "Eat the Rich."
Union flyers and union visitors in or near the parking lot.
So even if like union guys come in the parking lot, it's gonna guys, we got a union rep in the parking lot. This is a code red. Ladies and gentlemen, contact Jeff Bezos.
Some signs are less obvious than finding the actual union flyer, but they can still indicate associate disengagement, which is itself
associate disengagement. And I wonder why they would be disengaged. It can't be because their lives fucking suck working here at Amazon in the warehouse for hours and hours and hours and being forced to walk back and forth between the aisles, and they're timed. So if they slack off, they get reprimanded. It's a dream working here at Amazon. I'm sure it's just a dream. The employees have nothing whatsoever to complain about. Living wage, that's just liberal bullshit.
itself a warning sign for potential organizing. Examples include associates who normally aren't connected to each other suddenly hanging out together, associates who were close.
Alright, I mean, how do they know that that's not just like two people becoming friends? Like, two associates hanging out, yeah. Just, what the fuck?
suddenly stop speaking to each other. Groups of associates scatter when
Conversations with managers dry up. Yeah, maybe that's because they fucking hate you. You're their boss. You're not their fucking friend. You're the guy that fucking holds the pink slip over their head every single day, threatening to fire them if they don't do what you tell them to do. Confrontational behavior. Like I don't know, building a guillotine out of Amazon cardboard boxes. Change in volume, increased anger, unusual group behavior, unusual interest in policies and benefits. So basically, if you're a worker, you are just supposed to be like a dandy boy to your manager. Treat him like he's your buddy. Don't be angry. Don't be confrontational. Don't do any kind of unusual group behavior. And certainly don't take any interest in the policies and the benefits of the company you work at.
when approached by management, increased associate negativity, anger, or confrontation, unusual complaints or change in passion or detail around complaints, unusual interest in policies, benefits, employee lists, or other company information, or any other associate behavior that is out of character. For example, an associate who normally leaves promptly begins hanging out in the break room for an hour after work each day.
That's suspicious, ladies and gentlemen.
In order to recognize warning signs, it is critical that you know what an associate's normal behavior looks like. Often, it is the change in behavior that is the warning sign.
Jesus Christ. So they're like spying on their own employees, making sure that they're not unionizing. What a bunch of creeps, man.
Actual behavior itself.
All right. So, if you want to go work at Whole Foods or Amazon, keep this video in the back of your mind before you do. They don't give a flying fuck about you. You are just a robot for them to work and work and work until you can't work anymore, and they will pay you as little as possible and treat you like shit. And if you dare complain or do any kind of unusual group activity, or you say union words like living wage, well, then you are just an evil communist bastard and you will probably be fired. You will definitely be spied on by the weird spy network that Amazon has set up in their warehouses to watch their own employees. It's not like slavery at all, folks. It's totally legitimate. Totally a legitimate place to work. Definitely not exploited. The workers are happy. Don't ask questions. Don't unionize. Don't use those union words. And just keep buying Amazon products.